You're right. The core idea of SynBio is that it runs on code. And then what can we bring over from programming into this world that actually sticks? And so I think what synthetic biology has been, really since it got going. I met, the founders of Ginkgo back when we met at MIT in 2002. That was like early days of SynBio. It's about 20 years now. It's basically engineers asking the question of what can they bring over into biology that's actually going to work. And some stuff has been left by the wayside and some things do work. And the latest technology that's being tried now is AI.
Can you walk us through what you actually think does transfer over, and then where there are one or two unique challenges, and then how does AI help to solve for some of those things?
I'll tell you like a funny story, right? So one of the fellows I started the company with, this guy, Tom Knight, right? And Tom Knight started on the faculty at MIT in 1972. Okay, right? Like mainframe computers, punch card computers. He was a computer architect for a very famous mini computer, which was like the size of a refrigerator, called the Lisp machine. Okay, like Symbolics, that company is one of the founders of, like old school classic Stephen Levy hackers in the book kind of guy, right? Mid-90s, he realizes this thing about DNA as code, and basically is like, forget computers, I'm moving into programming DNA. He's still Tom, right? He's been like teaching the semiconductor course for 20 years at MIT at this point. Opens a wet lab in the MIT computer science building, starts growing bacteria, freaking everybody out, right? And he puts up this flag and he's like, hey, computer scientists, like DNA is code. If you're interested in this thing, like come over and try it out, right? Some of us came over and we're like, all right, cool. We got there, got our hands wet, and we're okay with it. A lot of computer scientists, they get there. Tom's like, okay, here's the lab bench. Remember, this code is physical. So if you want to compile it, I'm going to have to teach you how to do molecular cloning. And here is a pipette. And you're going to sit at this bench and you're going to do these steps. Okay. And the person would do them. And they'd get a result the next day. And they're like, wow, that's really interesting. And then they'd do the same thing again the next day. And they would get a different result. And they'd be like, Tom, I just did the exact same thing and I got two different results. Like, what's going on? And he was like, you're never going to know. And it would just break their brains, right? Like, they'd be like, fuck this, I'm out of here. You're leaving a world in computer science of like pure logic, right? At the end of the day, if there's a bug, you can always run it to ground. And that's because A, these are systems that run like clocks. B, we design them. We design them, right? And so like you, at the end of the day, can go in and figure it out. And in biology, it's like sometimes you can, right? And sometimes it's just a part of the biology that we just frankly don't understand well enough that's broken, and like tough luck. And you gotta like stomach that. And one of the things, my favorite things about AI is like, how does that neural network? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
You're about to experience like the analysis of these neural nets is going to look like systems biology, right? It's going to be like go in and like try to figure out a thing that you didn't design, my friends. And so like that'll be your first taste of really feeling like a biological engineer, right? But like, why bother? Like, why work with these neural nets that, my God, you actually can't easily debug and understand why it's hallucinating and all this stuff? And the answer is because they're powerful. It's worth it. And that's the same reason you want to do biological engineering. Like, even though it's unpredictable, even though it's going to be so frustrating, it's not going to do what you want, and blah, blah, blah. And people are going to it's because the substrate is incredible, right? It self-replicates, it self-assembles. We have nothing else like it in the physical world. So you want to work with it, even though it's hard. That's what ultimately gets people passionate about this stuff.